Hello, in this video I'm going to replace the starter motor on my Ducati Monster S4. This is similar to all Ducatis of a similar age. So the big issue is that Ducati in their wisdom decided to screw the starter motor on from the inside of the engine, which means you have to remove the left hand side casing off the engine. And on the S4, which is the water cooled model, that means you've got to drain the coolant and all the oil out. So here we go, let's have fun. As I have a non-standard belly pan fitted to my Ducati Monster, I have to remove this first. The first thing that needs to be done is drain the oil. Remove the oil cap. I then use a piece of kitchen foil around the exhaust. This stops having to clear up a mess of oil on your exhaust system, which could be hot at this stage if you've heated the engine before changing the oil. It's a large hex nut at the bottom of the engine. That's the oil plug at the bottom, and you can see that the tinfoil is doing its job as the oil is now dripping on it rather than on your exhaust and having a bigger job cleaning up afterwards. Clean off the any residue off the plug when it comes out, and then it's on to remove the oil filter. Now it's on to remove the coolant. Start by taking the cap off the expansion chamber for the coolant. With a suitable container placed under the engine, undo the tube from the other end of the expansion tank. Next, undo the cap on the radiator. Remove the coolant drain screw and allow the coolant to drain. Next, you'll need to remove the gear lever from the gear shaft. Take a note of the position to make it easier when you're reassembling. After all the coolant had drained, I just put the drain nut back in so I wouldn't lose it, and now it's time to remove all the pipe work. On removing these tubes, you can see there's some coolant still left in the pipe, so I have the container still under the bike. To be honest, I wasn't sure if I needed to remove this pump cover, but I did. But you could have got away without removing it, and it meant you could have saved yourself the cost of putting on a new gasket on it. And as you can see, it needed a little bit of persuasion with a rubber mallet. It's still to improve my drumming skills. Next thing you'll need to do is to remove this sensor here. I also took a mental note here that there was 2 of these copper seal washers on this sensor. Now remove the clutch slave cylinder. As you can see, I bagged the bolts and then cable tied them on so I wouldn't lose them here, and I have the other parts in bags too. And now remove the chain cover. Then it's on to removing the engine casing bolts. So I did this in a cross fashion so that there's no pressure taken off at one area, but it's taken off slowly on the way all around the casing. I move around the engine casing, and then when all the bolts are loose, I then take them out. There are 2 bolts which are kind of hidden in under the chain casing here, so it's not to forget about them. And then what I do is, using a piece of cardboard, there's no point doing an amazing drawing, but I kind of do a quick sketch of the engine casing, and I put the stab hole in them and stick the screws in, so then I know the bolts in, so then I know which position if the bolts were of different length, so I can replace them in the correct size. And remove the little crankcase cover. To remove the left side of the engine, which is the alternator cover, I went and bought an alternator cover puller, which fits a lot of different Ducati models, and it makes life a lot simpler and a lot safer removing this side of the engine. I bought the puller from Amazon. I'm sure that Ducati do a very expensive version of the same item. To use, just screw back the center nut and then screw the 2 outer nuts into where the cover was that you've just removed. Once you've the 2 outer nuts tightened, you simply tighten the center bolt in, and that starts to pull the engine casing off the engine. Because the generator is here and the flywheel has the magnets in it, there's a little bit of magnetic pull you've got to pull against to remove the cover. Just be aware of this so that you can realize that you might have to pull it a bit more than you would expect. Now remove the cable that comes down from the solenoid that attaches to the starter motor. There are 3 bolts holding the starter motor onto the engine, and you can access one of these bolts by turning the starter idle gear, as there's holes in it and some of them match up correctly to be able to get in to take the nut out. When you have the 3 bolts fully removed, the starter motor will come away. Now it's time to fit the new starter motor. You'll need a new seal that came with the starter motor I bought, but some of them don't, so you may have to buy the seal separately, but you will need one of these seals. The starter motor I bought came with 3 new bolts. I used 2 of them, and one of them was still a little short at the front, so I used one of the older, shorter ones, as the original ones in the motor were much longer, as the motors obviously had a different depth of screw hole. Make sure the teeth on the starter motor match in with the teeth on the starter idle gear. Now I was going to clean off the old gasket, as it was originally a little gasket glue seal that was on it, and it's a good use of an old credit card. I decided to go with fitting a gasket rather than using gasket glue, because I'm just not a big fan of using gasket glue, and this was a gasket that I bought on eBay. It fits a lot of other Ducatis, but it was very easy. But I only had to just push out the little holes that hadn't been quite pushed through. After spreading a very, very thin coat of grease on the gasket, this means A, if you have to take the engine back off again, that you could probably reuse the gasket, but B, it also helps the gasket kind of stick to the engine casing to make it much easier to put the engine casing back on. It's now just a matter of positioning the engine casing on correctly and getting it to fit, because you're kind of fighting against the magnets as well here again. But it goes on fairly quick, and just make sure that the gear shaft lever just comes through correctly too. And now it's time to put the engine casing bolts in, following our little map that we created earlier on. The torque setting for the engine bolts is 10 Newton meters, so I'm just going to tighten them in a crossway section on each of the bolts. Remove the casing puller if you haven't already done it before. With the new gasket on the pump housing, install the pump cover. Again, 10 Newton meters for these nuts here. Fit the sensor. My sensor had 2 copper style specially shaped washers. Don't know whether that's normal, but mine had 2 in it. And tighten the sensor nut in. Refit the small camshaft cover. Refit the clutch slave cylinder. The chain cover. And the gear changer to the shaft. Now the drain plug to 42 Newton meters. Put a small amount of oil into the oil filter and put a small ring of oil onto the seal on the oil filter. Put in by hand first and then tighten to 17 Newton meters. Now fill the engine with oil. Fill up to nearly the higher mark, and when you start the engine this is going to drop later, so just fill it up as high as you can at this point, but not over the upper mark. Reattach the cable from the solenoid down to the starter motor. Tighten up and cover with its rubber boot. Don't forget to put the tube back onto the bottom of the expansion tank for the coolant. Now fill the radiator with coolant. I'm using a liquid moly ready mix, which is a NORAF 12 Plus, which is made specially for aluminium engines, and I got this from Megabikes in Dublin. It also helps by pumping the tubes on the far side with your hands. You can squeeze the tubes. This gets any air out of the system, which you don't want. Of course, you want it to be full of coolant and not air, and this will help later on when you check to see if the level is correct in it. Now fit the coolant cap on. Then make sure you fill the expansion tank up between the low and high max mark. You'll need to start the bike and warm it up for about 10 minutes turn off, and then let it cool down, then check that the coolant level is still okay. My GoPro let me down at this point, but you got the gist of what I'm trying to do, and all this palaver in just trying to change a starter motor when normally on a bike it's just 2 bolts and it's off. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and please make comments. Am I doing too much or talking too much to the videos, or am I explaining too much? Thank you very much for watching. Okay, see you again next time. Bye. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you.